basic things here. So it depends on how we want to take it forward. It depends on composition of class and composition of people who are attending, and then we can take forward from there. Yeah. So as you know, you must have gone through the standard SAP presentations, what we'll be covering, and so that it's more or less things are quite stable in GATP. So can you see the screen now?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will not go into this presentation. You can read, but what we'll be covering will be I'm just talking about the first thing what we'll be covering will be what is the on ERP side what you need to set up. Yeah, what are the configurations in SAP ECC SD you need to have to GATP to work. Yeah, so basically you will talk about checking groups and strategies, means basically planning strategies, requirement class and requirement type, and that configuration. Yeah, and the configuration of sales order document types, delivery document types, and how it is integrated. Yeah. So that will be the first, and what ECC master data you need to support, like customer masters, material masters, and which fields make sense, or what should be the values. So that we'll be talking more or less on that. So that is the first thing we will be talking. Yeah. So what you need to do on ERP side. Yeah. Then second thing what we will cover will be on integration. Okay. Now you know what is required on ERP side, but how for GATP, how do you configure the connection between to SAM system and ECC system? Yeah, how you connect it? So how you control the authorizations, and what authorizations, what are trusted users on those connectivities? Yeah. So we'll talk about. There is slightly different than what is your core interface. So GATP is little bit. You can use the same concept, but it's more people go on a trusted user IDs. So we'll talk about that. So that is on connectivity. Once the connectivity is done, then we'll talk about, okay, then how we transfer the data to APO, and then how you enhance the master data in APO. So that is what is the enhancement required, what is additional configuration required on ECC side. Okay. So this will be the covered. So this will be covered in the context of, so there will be different scenarios which will be covered. One is a simple product availability check. Yeah. So instead of doing ATP in ERP, you want to do ATP in APO. Okay, what's the benefits? And once you know what are the benefits, then okay, and once you decide to do it in APO, okay, then how do you do it? Which business scenarios and which type of configuration is required? So that is what we will cover mainly on APO side. So basically you have, so if you are little bit aware about GATP, you know, okay, there are simple availability check. Yeah, then there is a availability check against product allocation. There is availability check against forecast, or combination of these three. So we will be talking about these things. So many people go for a product allocation, then which business scenarios you need to think about having a product allocations. Yeah. So there, and then how to configure that to you needs of your business scenario. Yeah. So that is a product allocations you need. Okay, when your supply is constrained, yeah, supply is limited than the demand, or there is a difference between demand and supply. Basically your supply is a constraint. So how do you model that constraint supply and still you meet the customer quotas? Yeah. So how do you set up a quotas for different customers or different organization entities? So that we'll be talking about in a product allocation. Yeah. So going forward, so I'm trying to say is, okay, we'll be first covering the basic methods, check against allocation, check against forecast. Yeah. So the most of the people use product availability check and check against allocations, and forecast is also there, but very less people use it. Yeah. Okay, then. So this is the first thing which will be covered in the, yeah. Then we'll talk about what is the product allocation, yeah, where to use it, what scenarios it supports, and then what is the technical configuration. So all those things we will talk in a product allocation. Okay. Then we'll talk about once these three basics methods are there, then we'll talk about something about advanced methods. Yeah. So advanced methods are basically you can think in rule-based ATPs, yeah, and then you can have CTP, MATP, that set of things, or combination of basic methods and advanced methods. So which combinations work, which combination doesn't work. And so we'll talk about mostly more focus will be on a rule-based ATPs, yeah. So then how to configure rule-based ATPs and how to use in combination of others. Yeah. So that is the topic we will cover. Then we'll talk about backorder processing. Yeah. So how do you do online backorder processing, which is a new feature in 7.0 onwards, and how do you do batch backorder processing? Yeah. So how to set up backorder processing for different scenarios. Okay. So this is a topics which we'll be covering in the total classes here. Any question on what is the scope of our training? Hello?
Hey, Hanmant.
Yeah.
So I have just one question. I mean, yeah, the course scope you covered well. I mean, no question is that, but a different question, like we have these modules, right? DP, SNP, PPDS, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, correct. Go ahead.
So if we want to implement, let's say, GATP only, okay. Will it? I mean, do we need to? I mean, is there any prerequisite like we need to have at least DP or SNP or PPDS?
Not basically. Yeah, basically how it works is, okay, you are doing ATP check against what? Yeah, so generally that first question is to be answered that. So what is, are you doing ATP against, let's say you are doing a rule-based ATP, or you are doing a simple ATP against your receipts. So what exactly you are trying to do? So if you are, let's say you are doing a simple ATP. So for simple ATP, you need a stock. Yeah, you need a stock. You need a supply elements like receipt elements like production orders, purchase orders. So as long as they are available, so let's say production orders are created, plan orders are created in let's say in ECC, you need not have a PPDS. There's no need. As long as those receipt elements are available in this, so that simple ATP will work. Okay. Same thing if you are using a product allocation. Yeah. So if you are using a product allocation, it uses a planning area and planning book of DP, but it will be different than what is their DP. But if you want to really integrate your forecast forecast figures in your rule-based allocation, then it is better to have DP and product allocation together. So again, depends on what basis you are doing the product allocation. So how you update your product allocation quotas? It's from a forecast over demand planning, or is it from manual updates? So you can decide. But if you talk of product allocation, the structure will be means your product MPOS and your planning areas, planning books. That concept will be more or less almost same as that of DP. So if you have DP knowledge, that will be easier to talk about product allocation.
Probably I am not asking those technical things. I mean, as
that's what I'm trying to. You can ask.
You are very correct. Whatever you are saying. My question is from SAP best practice point of view. What is advisable? Doing.
See, for example, okay, depends. That's what I've told. So depends on client. Some clients are, let's say, doing a planning in. Okay, many people don't like to use PPDS. They use a third-party softwares. Okay. Still, GATP happens in APO. So the best practice means SAP. If you talk about SAP will say, okay, you need to have this. You use the best practice. It comes from a different aspects. Let's say you are using GATP. Okay, so if you have bought a SEM suite, you are anyway paying for licensing, correct? Licensing of a complete suite. So in that case, let's say instead of doing MRP in scheduling in or MRP doing in ECC, it will be always better if you do in APO. So that's so people go in that sense. But today's market trend is a bit different because IBP is coming, and so many people are thinking in a different ways. So my client, also existing client, is using a third-party tool for scheduling. So those schedules are coming from a third system to APO, integrated to APO. So it depends on, again, on what is the tools used by a particular organization, and how and so if they are not using APO, just they want to use ATP, GATP, then then there is a no choice. For example, my existing client, we use they have a system for ERP system for delivery, and there is a different. There are 10-day ERP system for sales and distribution. So now you have to combine 10 sales and distribution system to a delivery system. So you cannot do that without GATP. In the sense that is a cross-flow system of goods. So different systems and there is a cross-flow system of goods. So there is no option to do without doing a GATP. So SAP best practice is, okay, in this scenario there is no choice. Even if you do PPDS or SNP somewhere else, doesn't matter. But but that receipt elements has to come. But GATP has to be on APO. So so different. It goes on a different way. So if
so
you talk about,
let
me frame in different way. If you talk about SAP, from SAP's guidelines, you need to do you need to have GATP and supporting data elements. If they are in GATP, they'll be supporting to GATP. That if they are in APO, that will be better. That's SAP's point of view.
Okay, let me ask just a little different. Let's say we have DP and we are trying to implement GATP. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the, but no, there is no SNP and no PPDS in scope. So what are the functionality of GATP I can use without SNP and PPDS?
You can use everything, but but those elements will be coming from ECC, correct?
Yeah, I mean, when you say you can use everything, probably we won't be able to use MATP, like it's because
Okay, you are talking about that sense. Okay, so okay, I understand. So if you are talking about that way, then okay, so you can use if the receipt means if the PPDS is not there, or your data PPDS is not there, and where there is no then
SMP
you see
also.
CTP and MATP will not be there. Yes, sure. So, but you can use your simple means product-based uh, product allocation, simple GATP against your receipt elements. You can use against forecast. You can use against you can use a rule-based ATP. That's possible. But in rule-based ATP also you cannot use the PPM substitution. So those limitations will be there. So if those data elements are not there in here, then yes, definitely you cannot. That's correct. So that's what I'm saying. For each scenario, there will be a particular set of data requirement, master data requirement. So if that master data is not there in ABO, you cannot really go for that scenario.
Is there
That's what.
any enhancement possible without even using, let's say, PPDS, full-fledged implementation of PPDS? Can we enhance GATP through some, ABAP code or RISEF so that we can use some workaround?
What exactly you want to do? You want to use CTP or you want to use MATP? What exactly you want to use?
For example, let's say CTP. Okay.
CTP.
I mean, have you come across any situation where, let's say, SNP and PPDS is not there, but GATP was there, and you have done some customization through code or config, whatever, to utilize some of those?
No.
Okay.
No, generally that scenario I have not come across through. Means basically we did CTP, MATP, but it was with APO. Without that, we didn't do it.
I mean, with PPDS, you are saying.
Yeah, correct.
Actually, why I'm asking so many questions, because in my client, I mean, in my company, what we are doing, we have DP, and we have started working on GATP, but there are a lot of conflict and conversation going on where we are trying to, I mean,
I can think about, can answer in the next lecture, but next session, but
okay, no problem. No problem.
I have not come across that type of situation. But we, yeah, but other things, yes, you can do. Yeah. Okay. So.
Hanuman, hey Hanuman, I have a question. Actually, I have heard. GATP has ability to run the capacity planning as well. So, I don't see in your slides that you are going to cover that part. So, will you be able to cover that capacity planning as well via GATP?
You mean CTP?
Not really. I mean the capacity planning, simple capacity planning through product allocation.
Yeah, that we can cover. Product allocations. So product allocations can be based on capacity, or it can be based on your forecast. Yeah. So you can model different ways.
Correct. Yeah.
So basically, what is your basis of quota? Basis of quota is it your supply constraint, forecast constraint? So how you think your constraint is? Constraint can be your forecast, constraint can be your supply, constraint can be your capacity, constraint can be your vendor's capacity, it can be your in-house capacity, it can be so there are different. So I work extensively on a process improvement project for a quota, dynamic quota. That's a very so basically the people don't want the static quotas. The quota has to be dynamic. Dynamic means let's say you have business scenarios like so you have customers. One customer is having okay, there are A, B, C, D customers. Classification can be A, B classified customers, important customers classified. Then you have product classified important according to your profit margins, and there is a matrix, which customer, which product. Now So you start your you do allocation for a month. Okay, now every day as you move in the month, your allocations cannot be static. Then it defeats the purpose. Means standard solutions is to have a static one. Means you get a reduction only when the orders come. But you are already making the products as per the plan. And if they are not selling to A customers, then yeah, if the B customers orders are coming, then how you swap the quotas, on what logic you swap the quotas. So that is called a dynamic quota allocation. So that is one of the direction in which most of the people are moving in product allocation. So we can talk about that and see how that is configured and how it is used. Yeah. So go ahead. So with this, this is a coverage. Means you can ask me whatever you can think of, and then I will try to answer it. Not an issue. Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, how long is gonna take to cover these all scenarios?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah, that's. I think he gave me some. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's all depends on. There are two things. One thing is how you work within the week. Let's say we give assignments. How do you finish those before you come to the next thing? So basically, going through the session, explaining the things is one thing, and basically you get the hang of it, feel of it is one thing. So how much time you can devote to the that depends on, most of the things will depend on that. Okay, so so I think he was talking about some 40 hours something.
Okay.
40 or 20, I'm not sure, but I can see. It was 5 weekends he was Naveen was talking about. So we can be talk. So the important thing is when you finish that, you should be able to really understand everything, what possible in GATP, what is not possible, and if not possible, how to what are the alternative ways of doing it. What developments you can do, which developments are possible, all that. But what I see in a GATP project, the important things, okay, you can learn the basic things, not that difficult, okay, so that you can understand and talk about. What comes difficult is, okay, if you want to do some enhancement, how do you do it? Where you would start? Which so everything I have come across is everything is enhanced. There is nothing. Means I have not seen a good working project where there was no enhancement. So there are complex environment with a complex enhancement, or there are very simple enhancements. And then second thing comes is how you really debug. If there is an issue, how do you debug? So these are the two things which will add to value to your career if you really thinking going in that direction. But that will come a later part of it. But the important part is to understand what is the basic things, and then how they work. Yeah, that's correct. Any questions further?
Yeah. So Hanuman, I mean, the schedule will be like Saturday, Sunday, so you should be fine morning session, or I mean, what is your
what is time there now?
Yeah, over here is 5:35 right now, but I'm good with this time, so that's okay. I
Okay,
mean, if
so
you are
5:35 morning or what?
morning.
Yeah, it can, if you want 1 hour, 2 hour late, we can do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean that depends on if Jayant and you and Samar
No,
if
no,
they
that's fine. So for now, for me, the best timing maybe. So now it is, yeah, around even 1 or 2 hour, 2 hour late, 2 or 3 hours late will be okay for me. Not a problem. So anytime from this time to next 3 hours, that will be okay for me.
okay.
So so you can decide with knowing what is the best time to all. So if you don't want to wake up so early, then you say 7 also is okay.
For me, it's 7:30 actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you are in different part. Okay. So yeah, you decide a common, because you have to decide which is common time suitable. My flexibility is okay from this time to next 3-4 hours. That any time between this is okay for me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So coming back to, just we'll go have a feel of a system. Just we'll go to the login to the system and try to see. I just had some login yesterday, so but I can show you some nice things if you want to see on other clients. But okay, for the training systems, I can show you what is happening. So this is a ECC system, yeah. So basically, if you have some understanding of SAP, it will be always better. Huh? I mean, so we'll cover, if there is no understanding on SD, we'll cover more on SD, because that's where the starting point is. Yeah. So I have two scenarios. So one scenario is a simple ATP. So this is a sales order with a yeah. So basically, what happens is, once you do ATP, yeah, if ATP is configured, your SIP models are working. Then what happens is, if everything is fine, then if you do the ATP, so this type of screen comes. Huh? So what exactly this means is, okay, you have a quantity 10 and it's confirming 10. Then there are different ways to see what. So these are the configurations. What are the check instructions? It is.
Anmant, one quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of see this screen sometime. I mean, like I said, I have already started working on it.
Yeah.
What particular configuration? I was just trying to struggle. I mean, when we are clicking on availability check in ECC, it is directly taking to APO. Is there must be a particular configuration, right?
Yeah, there is a dialog. You want to see the dialog or not to see the dialog. So that's and on what business event you need to do that. So there is a basic settings in ECC, where you can say E means there is a E flag. E means you can see the dialog when required. Huh? So if you want to see the dialog or don't want to see the dialog, depends on that. Yeah. So dialog only in case of shortage, or dialog always. Yeah. So most of the time people don't want dialog, because they are just sales administrative people. They just want to enter the orders, or the orders come by EDI, so they don't want pop-up for everything. So they just want.
My question is, we have availability check screen in ECC as well as in APO. So it is for GATP, it is taking the ECC screen to APO. So
yeah, so if it is your material is if you are configured ATP check for the material or APO, then it will always go to APO. It will not show ECC screen. Okay. So this screen only will come if you have configured your system. Means SIP model. For example, this for this product. For this product, you can do what does it mean is. Okay, I will just if that is a question, if I understood correctly. Okay, what I do is I deactivate the integration model. Okay, and you can see the effect. So for ATP there is an integration model for ATP. So what does it mean? For that material the integration model is active. So this ATP model is active. Let's say I deactivate this model.
Okay, I got it. So it's in the IAM. Okay.
Right. Okay. So if your IAM is active, then it will call ATP screen. If the IAM is inactive, then it will take the ECC screen. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Okay. So we'll not do that.
Do
that. Okay. So then this is if your configuration is correct. So this is a simple basic check. Instead of ECC, you are doing in SAM. So here you can see so it again depends on what configurations you have. So what is your check instructions? So it depends on what is your check mode, means your requirement class in ECC, and what is your business event, and then how you configure. You want product check, or you want product allocation check, or no check. Yeah, all those things. Yeah. So how it is configured, rule based, and then there is a scope of check. Yeah. What is the scope of check for this? So okay, first is what to be checked. Next is how to check, means which elements you should consider for what type of stocks you should have, what types of received elements you should need, what requirements you need to consider. Yeah. So this is all configurable. Yeah. So this is what decisions you made in your business blueprinting and requirement gathering. So what you want to check and how you want to check. Yeah. Then so these are the basic configurations. Based on that configuration, then it will go to.
Hanmat, can you just go back to scope of check once more?
Yeah.
Just a quick question. What is this confirmation logic bucket? This is conservative, right? It is mentioned.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is when you say this, there is a confirmation logic bucket means basically, let's say your order is there, so you define your ATP buckets. Yeah. So you can define for your availability group what is your ATP bucket. So for this group, you define a bucket. Means so your time series you want to consider from let's say 12 o'clock to next night 12 o'clock, or next day 12 o'clock, or 0 hours to 0 hours. Okay. Now the sales order comes. Let's say you have to deliver sales order required date is tomorrow. Yeah. So it has to be tomorrow. So conservative means okay. When you consider that it should be available at the start of your bucket or at the end of the bucket, where you want to consider. So so you want to be conservative. Let's say you want to deliver promise tomorrow. So you like to promise as early as start of the day. Yeah, not at the end of the day. Your supply element. So your supplies are gathered one day before. Correct?
Okay.
So that way. So so you have to understand for that what is your ATP bucket. So that is again a configuration. So, but it depends on what version you are using. If your version is 7.0, then you have flexibility to have a different ATP bucket depend on ATP group. But if you are still on 5.0, then you don't have that flexibility. Then system-wide there will be only one bucket. Yeah. So again, depends on which versions you are using.
We are using 7, so 7.3.
That's fine. That's fine. So that's then here basically this configuration we'll talk about those. It means basically no storage location check. What is version check? Means so you want to. So when you do ATP, generally it happens on storage location level or batch level. So if you enter a storage location in sales order, it will check only for that storage location for ATP. So that, and if you don't want to consider that, only you want to do at a plant level, you can do at a plant level. And then you want to consider the checking horizon or no. So in which periods you want to consider the receipt elements. So all those things. So these are the finer points we can cover when we talk in details. Yeah. So this is check instructions, scope of check, and then you can see what is the ATP situation for this. So it gives you what is the ATP situation. Yeah. So you are asking for 10. There is stock of 100. Receipts are 100, and storage location level also you can see here 10. So your requirements can be met at the storage location level as well as plant level. So your ATP is successful. Yeah. So so this is how things work. And then you have product allocation. Then there is a shipment and transportation planning. This is again a topic where you can manage your SLAs. What is your how much when the sales order comes? How much time it takes to pick? How much time it takes to load? How much time it takes to transport? How much when customer can receive it? When cannot receive it? All those things you can configure. Okay. So that is a again a transportation and shipment planning. So you can have your there are condition-based techniques, there are configurable processes, scheduling itself a big topic. So very less people use that configurable process scheduling, but that is a new nice tool to do a scheduling. Yeah. So basically, if you want to manage your, so most of the now clients have third-party vendors like DHL or who manage your transport and warehouses. Then you want to manage the SLAs for those vendors, third-party logistics service providers. Then how do you manage that SLAs? Yeah. So all this you can really manage with that concept.
So one more question. What about the route? I mean, if we configure the route in ECC, does it get transferred to APO through SIF?
It's not through SIF. It's through there is a program to send the routes to APO. You can align that.
Okay, so through SIF we cannot do that, right?
No. Okay. Shipping points are there. Those things are there. So those things are there. So once this, so this is a simple ATP. Then you accept your yeah. So you can. There are a lot of things you can check. You can check graphics, but that's more or less. So once you accept delivery proposal, full delivery, then you get this. Then the final for a salesperson, what is important is okay, what's the schedule lines are. These are the dates. What dates it? What is the quantity confirm and what dates confirm? That's what GATP is all about. Yeah, when you can start, when is the material is available, when you can load it, when you can goods issue, when it will be delivered to the customer, and what quantity. So this is what is the output of your. So your input is your required date and quantity, yeah, and this is output. So all in between is how you manage that what output you want and what is input, and what basis, what is the logic to derive that output. That's all about GATP. Okay, in the simple terms. Yeah, simple terms. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. So on this particular screen, so there are on the left hand side there is material availability date, loading date, goods issue date, and there all dates, right?
Yeah.
And on the right hand side, so that's the time, actual time is
Yes, correct.
being taken, right? So
Yes.
that time is going to be added on top of material availability date, right?
No, on this
to
date.
get the loading.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So
on this.
let's say if you want to have loading date calculation, so that will be added to material availability date plus loading time, right?
Yeah, correct. So that is what is transportation shipment scheduling. That is a one module in GATP. So how do you decide when the material should be available? What should be the cutoff? So many times you have cutoff. You sales order you take, let's say 3 o'clock today, then only they can deliver on that day. If it comes later than 3 o'clock, then it can be delivered one day after. Yeah. So those time things. Then how much time warehouse takes to, let's say, pack or something. Low. Yeah. And then how much time it takes to goods issue. So and then how much time it takes transport from year to year. So these can be these are all managed in a transportation shipment scheduling. Okay. And so this is a output screen. Yeah. So this is one simple case which we start. This is a simple case which you can play with, and then the next I show you just. And then you have, like, for example, here. So this is a rule-based ATP. So what exactly it is doing is, okay, I need 60 quantities of this material. Yeah, sorry, on this material, and okay, on this date, on this plant. So what it is trying to do is, yeah, you can see here. So 60 is there, 50 is confirmed on this plant, and 10 is going to this plant. Yeah. So you can have. So here in a rule-based, you can have. Yeah, it means let's say you want to deliver from location to location, different locations you want to check it. Same product, you can check it. Or if the product is substitutable, then you can substitute the product, and instead of one product you can deliver different product, or you can have both combination of that. So that's what the rule is about. So for example, here you can check what is the rule it has picked up. So this is a rule. So here, for example, this is a rule, and for this rule, this is the location determination procedure it has picked up. Yeah, and there are a lot of configurations. It's quite complex configuration. To understand rule-based ATP in detail, it will take 1 week if you want to go into that depth. Yeah, so it's quite.
One question here.
Yeah.
So for this location substitution or product substitution, right, or combination of both, do we need to have SNP transportation? I mean SNP installed? I mean implemented. Sorry.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
So if you want to look at transportation lane for something.
Right.
Then, yeah, but that need not be SNP. It means just transportation lane, master data supporting. But if let's say if you don't have a transportation lane, still you can manage it. You can define, okay, on the conditions you can define, okay, from this to this transportation take this much time.
Okay. Instead of defining that in lane, you can define directly in the condition.
The condition, yes. So that if you have a transportation lane, you can use transportation lane. If you don't have, you can define in conditions.
Okay.
So there are different options available.
Okay.
So this is a rule-based ATP, and then there you can do You can do a lot of things with rule-based ATP. Yeah. So this is a one of these, just a flavor how system works. Yeah. So now you can see here the two schedule lines created from different plants. Yeah. So this is
can you just show one similar flavor, couple of glimpses of allocations?
Allocations I have not configured because it takes enough of time to configure allocation. It will take 2-3 days. Proper allocation. Yeah, 2-3 days. So I didn't do it. Didn't do that. So because I just 2 days before he told me, you need to. I said give me something. I will do some configuration. Okay, so this is a system. This is a system we will be working on. Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask one more question? I mean, regarding priority. Let's say we have a shell scheduling agreement and we have sales order. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way in GATP we can prioritize that? Because scheduling agreements, let's say, for continuous, like it can be a very big quantity. Let's say 400.
I understand.
It will block, right, all the orders?
Yeah, prioritize in the sense what happens is online you cannot do that. Okay, the best what you do for that is you do a backorder processing.
So BOP is the only option?
That's a quick clean option. What I'm trying to say is clean options. Then otherwise then you have to do okay, that is one of the clean options. Is that means basically you can do a prioritization in BOP. That's easier. Means there is no development, nothing required. But on a ECC, if you're talking about normal online,
I mean, in delivery, we have a priority probably. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100%
no,
sure.
No. Priority is there. Question is not priority. You can have priority. Question is when you are doing online, you are checking online. So when you check online, priority because you are not comparing one against other.
Okay.
Online is something is coming. Let's say you go in a shop and there is something in the shelf. Yeah. So whoever picks up first gets it, right? It's the same concept. So yeah, but if they have let's say if the shop has 10 orders and then he can prioritize, correct?
Correct.
So the same concept is same, logic is same. So you have to logically, is it not possible? Is it possible? No. So if you are saying online in a shop, I want somebody to prioritize, no, cannot. So but you can think of different ways, means workaround, like okay, if the quantities are more than this, then there should not be confirmation.
Something like that.
Something like that you can develop. That's not a difficult. But again, question is what is the quantity? Which quantity? Which customer? Yeah, there are a lot of variables come into picture. So it's not. So then you do a quota thing. Yeah? So let's say product allocation. Yeah. So if the scheduling agreement has coming with 1,000 quantity, yeah, and then your allocation is only 300. So the order will not be confirmed. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Then you can change the product allocation. Okay, still you want to confirm 1,000, so you can do. So other orders will go through. Okay, at the end of the day, you can think, okay, still I have orders are not coming, or still my allocation still they are remaining. So you can swap the allocation and do the confirm the scheduling agreement. So that way also you can do.
Okay.
So you have, so what you have to do is you have to play with this type of concepts. There is nothing hard and fast. You can do this way only. Okay, do you want to use a product allocation, or do you want to develop something, or do BOP? So you have 3 options. So you have to think which one is suits to your business needs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, how much one is trying, and how much is the impact of on that your business. So that's. See, if they can wait for a BOP, doesn't matter. Let's say they don't deliver the orders immediately. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what type of scenario. Are you in a which type of industry? Yeah. So if let's say, for example, you are in a industry where you promise 2 months, 3 months in advance based on your production plan. Okay. Correct. So you promise to the customer based on production plan. Yeah. But as you are you come closer when you need to create a deliveries, you can do a BOP and you can prioritize. But if it is like you have to deliver tomorrow, yeah, there is a less scope for prioritization. You have to say yes or no. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
yeah, that's how it goes. So this is so we'll mostly deal with this. Yeah. Then let's see. Yeah, then that's what I'm trying to say. You have the group of 3, then 4, whatever. Then and how your group interacts and how you do your own homework, then own configuration, and try to understand that and try to do different scenarios. That will be more. You can get more out of it. Yeah. But just if it is a one-way flow, one way, then I don't think means it will be okay. But it because it's all depends on how you do yourself. The system is, if you play with the system more, you are more comfortable, more knowledgeable. That's what I can say. Yeah. Any other question?
I'm
Yeah.
good. At least for the first session, I have asked too many questions.
No, you can go on asking. Question is not a problem. Question, you can ask question here or offline. That's not a problem. I can whatever I know, I will answer.
Yeah, that's good to know, Hanmant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm good. Thanks.
So yeah. So if this is, we'll stop it here today, and then you get in touch with Naveen, and he will plan the things. Then you can configure the scenarios and test yourself also. So that way we will be going doing the training more on that way. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then see you then.